So like all good animators, I have saved an iteration of this file, a version of it. This is Scene 2 version 1B. And it's always wise when you start adding actions and working with your scene to go ahead and make sure that you're saving off copies in case something bad happens. You can always go back and not lose all your work to date. While we were waiting for this movie to begin, I went ahead and added some additional eye motions that are going on. So we're up to about 10 seconds worth of eye motions here. Whoops, let me get rid of that onion skin. And let's go back to the very beginning, advance once, and we'll see what's going on. This is all done with actions. I haven't done any hand animating at all. And I also wanted to say, at the very end of the last movie, when I had the character look to the left and do a blink, I should say the blink squint, I noticed that the pupils were moving before I wanted them to, and that's because I hadn't added one of those holding keyframes, just like we did here at frame 24, to set the eyes and keep them looking left. So what I did was go right back in down to pupil at that point in time where that was occurring, and I added an action to keep the pupils looking to the right. Let's take a look and see how this is flowing right now by just hitting our play button and looking at the action involved. We get our frog blinking, looking both ways, some slow blinks, looks back, and then that stops right there and we're ready for our other animation. At this point, at about the 8.5 second point, I want to finish off any body motions to accentuate and enhance the eye motions, including slow mouth movements, that type of thing. And then we'll start bringing in our cars and the back away from our frog here with the camera move so we can get an idea that there's lots of cars and this is a monumental task to get across this road. I'll scroll back here in the timeline a little bit and we will come back up here and close the eyes right now and save ourselves a little room on the layers palette. One thing I want to have is make this frog look kind of squishy, kind of organic. So as the eyes look to the right and then to the left, I want the head movements and the mouth movements to lag behind that. So it looks like we're getting kind of this sly look from left to right. The frog is unamused, but maybe not intelligent enough to realize the danger that is laying before it. So at this point in time where the eyes have already looked to the right and they're staying there, I'm going to come into my mouth here. I'll highlight the frog head, and actually I can do the whole thing right here, the whole frog head. I'm going to insert another reference position here. This keeps the mouth from doing a slow drift over to the right side when the eyes go over there, and I'll have the mouth catch up. So the eyes have moved over there. And I'll have the mouth drift and catch up about right there. So I need to open the frog head, disclose that entire layer. For the mouth itself, I want to go ahead and bring that over to the head look left. I'll insert that action and the mouth is over there. So let's watch how it's kind of disconnected from the eyes. The eyes move first. Actually, the mouth moves first there and then follows. So this is where we can adjust actually our keyframes to make sure that it behaves the way we want it to. I'll move that one hold keyframe over just a little bit further still so that the eyes do lead the mouth over to the left side there. That's the beauty of keyframing, is that it figures out all the tween motion for you. Now, of course, we need to back up the head motion to that. So at about this point, the mouth is already moving. Then I'll want the head to move itself. So up at the head layer, well, let me actually come down to the frog's head. I'm going to insert a reference position right here. And then move just a little further. And now I'll insert the looked left behavior right there for the head or action. So now we'll see it in action. The eyes look left, the mouth begins to move, then the head moves. And then we're going to kind of invert this process as the frog looks to the right. So the eyes are moving here at the head level. I'm going to insert a look left action to hold it there. The eyes are already traveling to the right. I'll want the head to complete that movement to the right, the look right word, so I'll insert an action right there. So now the head starts to move, it follows the eyes. We'll come back, highlight the mouth, look at the motion that's going on the screen. We'll have the mouth lag again. So at this point I will insert a look left action strictly on the mouth. Then as this progresses across the screen, I'll go ahead and make sure that this terminates or concludes that motion by inserting a look right worried motion for the mouth right there. So now we get this nice kind of lagging motion where the head moves a little bit. It doesn't necessarily move together, and it gives us that real pleasing, easy to watch type of animation. The last thing then is going to be to move just the legs a little bit and just the body. When it looks left like this, I'm going to go ahead and insert in right at this point in time. I'll come back up and close the frog head, select the body. I'll insert a body reference action there to hold it until that point in time. And then I want the body to conclude that movement to the left right there. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look left right there. And the body tilts just a little bit. So it's following the head, and I can open up and finesse that with the keyframes if I want to do that. I'll go ahead and tune this up just a little bit. I'll work with the bones. You don't need to see me do that. You are already well informed of how to do that thanks to the earlier movies. In our next movie, we'll pick up with how to work with the automobiles and how we'll bring them in with the camera zoom out in our next movie.